y'all know I had a little bit of struggle with this message yesterday. My wife can attest to that. But as I was trying to put this thing together, is that better?
Yes.
Okay. As I was trying to put this thing together yesterday, my laptop was giving me some issues, and it totally froze up, and I had 5 pages that I had typed up, and all of that was gone. I couldn't find it. And I got a little bit frustrated, and made my wife leave the room where I was sitting at because I was just frustrated. She's on the phone talking to my daughter and just having fun and giggling, and I wasn't having it. I was mad at that laptop. I was about to toss it out the window. Then something popped up. I clicked on it. My 5 pages were back. I'm like, okay, thank you, God. But it was rough. I had a rough time getting this thing done. I just hope that it does what it's supposed to do today. So today, the title of my message is called Move. And this kind of came to me last week when Pastor Dale was up here preaching. I kept hearing this word, move, move. And I went, okay. And then, of course, Dale texted me and said, you want to preach next week? And yes, I do. And this is why, because this word dropped on me when I was hearing his message. So I pray that today it does what it's intended to do. I think the reason I had so much trouble with this on the laptop is there's something in here that somebody needs to hear that's going to be impactful. The enemy didn't want me to say this, but we got through it, and God's going to get the glory. So today, I want to talk to you a little bit about your Christian walk. There is a reason it's called a walk. We don't hear people say they have a Christian chill on the couch and watch TV, do we?
No.
We don't hear them say that I have a Christian lay in bed because I'm too tired to do anything. We hear them say they're in a Christian walk, which indicates that we're moving forward. You can't be a follower of Christ if you're not actually following Him. Too often, we see sons and daughters of God who believe all they have to do is go to church and hear the pastor speak, and then walk out of the church and not apply that message to their lives.
Preach it, Ron. Preach it.
They are failing to walk in the knowledge that has been given to the pastor and shared with the body. I was one of those folks, church. I would walk in, not really pay attention to that full message. And then I was basically considering what I was going to be doing the rest of the day. I'm getting kind of hungry. It's time for lunch. This guy's talking too long. Well, those were things going through my mind. And I wasn't paying attention to the meat that was being presented to me that morning. I heard parts of what the pastor had to say, but not enough to apply anything to my walk with God. So I got a story that I want to kind of illustrate to this point here. I don't know if you guys know who Theodore Geisel is. He's best known as the author of Dr. Seuss children's books. Once he was invited to give a commencement address at a college in Illinois. He began a speech on a humble note. He said, "It seems behooving upon me to bring forth great words of wisdom to this graduation class as it leaves these cloistered halls to enter the outside world. My wisdom is in rather short supply, and I've managed to condense everything I know into this epic poem consisting of 14 lines." He then proceeded to recite this epic poem entitled "My Uncle Terwilliger on the Art of Eating Popovers."
Art of eating what?
Popovers.
Okay.
So my uncle ordered popovers from the restaurant's bill of fare, and when they were served, he regarded them with a penetrating stare. Then he spoke great words of wisdom as he sat them on the chair. "To eat these things," said my uncle, "you may swallow down what's solid, but you must spit out the air." And as you partake of the world's bill of fare, that's darn good advice to follow. Do a lot of spitting out of the hot air, and be careful of what you swallow. It's good stuff right there. Dr. Seuss always has good stuff. One more illustration. Another college class graduating on a hot and humid day, kind of like today. And as the graduates walked across that platform and received their diplomas, the college president, she smiled, shook their hands and said loudly, "Congratulations." And then in a much lower voice that could only be heard by those graduates, but she would say, "Keep moving." The college president was only trying to keep that line moving across the stage, but her words are good advice for a lifetime. Keep moving. Wherever you may go and whatever you may do in life, keep moving. Don't stagnate. There is more to the big picture than you have seen thus far. And whatever you do, be careful what you swallow. Moving forward is important in life if you want to make progress. Forward is defined as toward the front, in the direction that one is facing or traveling. Onward so as to make progress towards a successful conclusion, toward the future and ahead in time. That's what our Christian walk is. We start out as babies and we're on milk and honey, but we're supposed to be moving forward through that walk to get to the meat and potatoes. That's where the real serious stuff is of the Lord. The milk and honey, that's good and it's sweet to us and it builds us. The meat and potatoes is where we go do the work. That's where we get deep into the things, the relationship with Christ. It's not about, I had a conversation a couple days ago with a friend of mine I was hanging out with, and he got to talking about religion. And I said, no, bro, it's not about religion. Religion is what you see on the streets where people are hollering at each other about, you got to see it my way or you're wrong and you're going to go to hell and die. That's religion. Relationship says, look at my life. I'm living the way God wants me to live, not this way. Look at my life. Something different about my life because I am in relationship with the living God. And when you're in relationship, there's an intimacy there that causes us to be a little bit different in how we react to other people. And church, I want us to have that type of relationship with God that people out in this campground will look at us and say, there's something different about those people. I want to be more like them. Yes. Why are they always at peace? Why are there, when they have things that happen in their lives, like much like Dale and Ann, trouble, why are they not out here cursing and screaming and hollering and kicking the dirt and all of that? Why are they at peace? There's something that you can see in a person who has a relationship that you can't see in somebody who has religion. Took me a while to figure that out. Get into some scripture here. 1 Corinthians 9:24. Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? Run in such a way as to get the prize. That's an indication of moving. And for me, I changed that up. My life, I don't want to run to get the prize. I'm going after the one who's holding the prize. That's why I'm running my race. The prize is inconsequential to me. I want to see the one who's holding that prize at the finish line. That to me is more important. In Hebrews 12:1, therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders us and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. Each of us, our walk is going to be a little bit different. We're going to encounter things that are a little bit different. No walk is going to be the same. No relationship with Christ is going to be the same. God's going to do different things in each of you than he does through me or Pastor Dale or Tammy or Steve here. It will be different, but it's all towards the same goal of getting us to the one holding the prize. obviously this journey we're on requires us to be moving forward, running to get that prize, and that, church, is what moving is all about. We can't stay still. And as we read in Galatians 5:7, you were running a good race. Who cut in on you to keep you from obeying the truth? Church, that's religion right there. That's religion getting in the way. What got in the way from you hearing a word from this pulpit that's intended to edify, to lift you up, to build you in your walk? What got in the way to stop you from paying attention to that one little nugget of truth? There's always a distraction. There's always something that comes up that gets in our way. I know because it happens to me often. I don't have it all down. I'm not Mr. Perfect by far. I have to rely on God to do a lot of things in my life because I can't do it. So, as I was saying, we need to take to heart the messages we hear from the pulpit. We need to soak in the scripture that's being read from up here. Don't just take my word or Dale's word for what you're hearing scripture-wise. Jot those down. Go back and read them yourself to make sure we're not tripping you up. I mean, as a pastor, we are held to a higher standard according to scripture. That if we don't preach an unadulterated word, if we deviate, we add to or take away from God's word, we have to answer to that. And my heart is, I'm not going to be answering for that kind of stuff. What I'm telling you comes straight from God's word. I will not take away or add to it. We need to take these things and put them in our heart, lock them away, store them, so we can do things with it in the future. That's how this world is going to see something different in us. I get so tired, recently here we've been seeing a lot of things, political stuff, where one side is demonizing Christians and another side claims to be Christians, but you step back from all that and they're all wrong.
Yes.
They're all wrong.
That's right.
There is no political parties in heaven. None. And it's killing me to see us tearing ourselves up like this. We are God's kids. We don't belong to a Democratic Party or a Republican Party. We are God's kids. And we need to act that way.
Amen.
I say this because I keep looking at some of the things that we're doing and saying out there. And how are we going to get a world to change their attitude, their actions, if we're acting just like them? Church, this message, Luke, is about us acting like his kids so they can see something different in us that draws them to be like us. We cannot force them to be like us. We cannot come up with laws to make them be like us. It doesn't work that way. Just as much as we as Christians don't want to be pushed and smothered and crushed by the world, they don't want us to do it to them. And yet we're doing the same thing. Just like the world, church. We got to stop that. My heart says that we got to be different. We're set apart. That's what Scripture says. We're set apart from the world. We are different. We are unique. We got to act that way. We have to act that way. This is a hard message for me. This is a really hard message. But somebody's going to get something out of this. The other day, I read something that really caught my attention. It says something to the effect of, have you ever wondered why there's a highway to hell and a stairway to heaven? Does that tell you something about the amount of traffic that's going to be on either side? That hurts, church. That hurts me. A highway to hell means there's buses and trucks and trailers going on that thing. There's only a line of people walking up the stairway to heaven. That should bother us, church. That really should bother us. I don't know about y'all, but I look at the news and I see somebody getting shot or killed or dying in a car accident. The first thing through my mind is, did they have a relationship with Christ? I don't care if they were drinking or doing drugs or running from the cops or any of that stuff. I don't care. First thing in my mind is, did they have a relationship with Christ? Because I know if they did, it doesn't matter what they did here on earth. As long as they accepted Him, God's wiped the slate clean and they're good to go. That's what matters to me. Am I going to see that person in heaven where I get to talk to them? Pastor Dale and I don't want to see anyone on that highway. Rather, we want to see you on that stairway moving forward. Kind of look at some more scripture here and kind of see who God had moving in the Bible. Genesis 12:1. The Lord said to Abram, "Go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land I will show you." He's making him go. Left his comfort zone to go do something else. Let's move. In Jonah 3:3, before we get to that scripture, I want to kind of remember this one. We all remember Jonah had run from God when God told him to go to Nineveh. And we know how that went. He wound up in the belly of a whale for a few days before he got spit out on dry land. But then God came to Jonah again and said, "Look, I told you I want you to go to Nineveh." Jonah this time said, "Right on, Lord, I'm going. I'm going. No more of this belly of the whale stuff. It wasn't pleasant in there." So Jonah obeyed the word of the Lord, went to Nineveh, and Nineveh was a real large city. It took 3 days to go through it. 3 days of walking through Nineveh to get through it. That's a long, big city. In Matthew 4:18-20. As Jesus was walking beside the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Simon called Peter and his brother Andrew. They were casting a net into the lake, for they were fishermen. "Come, follow me," Jesus said, "and I will send you out to fish for people." And at once they left their nets and followed him. And did we hear Christ say, "Hey, Simon and Andrew, stay right there and I will send you out to fish for people"? No, he said, "Follow me." That indicates movement and forward movement at that. That's kind of how we should be with our walk. Christ has said to us, and when we accepted Him, He said to us, "Follow me." Some of us didn't take that seriously.